Hi, welcome to Unforgotten Reels, the doorway to the places we avoid in daylight and the thoughts we push away before sleep. Here, stories are crafted not just to frighten, but to unsettle. Please subscribe to walk with us further into the unknown. Hit like if the unease sank in, and leave a comment if you noticed what shouldn't be there. Our short film for today is entitled, Her Eyes Were Never Hers. Let's start. The world had been reduced to muffled voices and the scratch of gauze against skin. For 3 days, Mia floated in a soft, white darkness, counting the beeps of the hospital monitors, imagining what her new eyes would see when the bandages came away. The doctors called it a perfect match, though they never said perfect for what. That morning, scissors whispered through the gauze. The smell of antiseptic sharpened in her nose. Light bled into her skull, and behind the doctor's reassuring smile, she saw a figure in the far corner, smiling wider than any human mouth should. She blinked, and it was gone. But the corner felt heavier now, and the weight was moving with her. Her apartment should have felt safe, familiar, but every surface seemed colder, the corners sharper, as if her new sight was carving the room into pieces. That night, she woke to a faint trickle of water, the sound slipping down the hallway from the bathroom. The mirror was waiting for her. Her reflection leaned forward, pupils stretched wide, swallowing the color of her eyes. She turned away, and in the glass, her reflection didn't. It was still watching, and grinning. The first vision came with no warning. One blink, empty hands. The next, fingers wrapped tight around a kitchen knife, its blade wet and shining in the dark. Images crashed through her, a woman's throat opening in a scream until it broke into a rasp, the snap of bone under weight, the glassy stillness of dying eyes. When the apartment returned, her breath came in stabs, but the knife was still in her hand, and it wasn't hers. She called the transplant registry, her voice shaking as she demanded to know whose eyes she carried. A pause, a whisper, then Elias Crow. The name slid through her like a cold blade. She knew it. Everyone did. A serial killer, pronounced dead 3 months ago. That night, her sleep came in fragments. She dreamed of a man leaning so close she could smell the rot between his teeth. And in the dream, he whispered something only her bones understood. She woke with her tongue tasting of blood. The visions no longer stayed in her head, they pulled at her feet. She walked without thinking until she stood before a warehouse sagging under its own decay. A chain hung across the doors, one link neatly split, as if it had been waiting for her. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of rust and something older. Her phone light caught the wall's rows of Polaroids, each face frozen mid-scream. The last photo was hers. The visions deepened, no longer brief shocks, but full, suffocating scenes. She saw a narrow basement, its walls damp, its floor groaning under a chair, and a girl bound to it, her breath shallow and ragged. An address lodged in Mia's mind like a splinter. When she blinked, she was already standing before that very basement door. The padlock twisted open, and from below came the sound of someone trying not to cry. She found her there alive, but pale, wrists raw from rope. The girl's eyes widened in desperate hope until they met Mia's. Something flickered their recognition, then horror. "It's you," the girl whispered. Her voice cracked. "Oh God, it's you." Mia's fingers froze on the knots, because somewhere inside her, she wondered if the girl was right. The basement melted away. Mia saw herself from above, leaning over the girl, knife in hand. She felt muscles coil with a strength she didn't own, and a hunger in her chest that didn't belong to her. "Open your eyes wider," the voice murmured from the marrow of her bones, and her vision obeyed. Her reflection in a cracked, dust-caked mirror smiled without her. Her pupils had become endless tunnels. Her lips moved, but the sound was his. "You were just the door. I was always coming back." In the corner, the girl sobbed as Mia's body began to walk toward her. With the last thread of herself, Mia closed her eyes, praying darkness would hold him in. But when she opened them, the basement was empty. No ropes, no girl, no blood, only her, and a Polaroid tacked to the wall. Her own face frozen mid-scream, and this time she could feel the hands around her throat. The end. We tell ourselves we are who we choose to be. But what if pieces of us, pieces we never asked for, already belong to someone else? Mia thought she was seeing the past of a dead man, but maybe she was watching her own future take shape. Sometimes the dead don't haunt us. Sometimes they finish their work through us. And when they find the door, they don't knock. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, like, and feel the impact of every short film. Got a story idea or a moment that hit you hard? Drop it in the comments. We read every comment. See you next time.